Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to this session of Python Masterclass. This is the third session, and today we are gonna continue from where we stopped last week. Okay, we are going to look at control statements in Python, what they are, and what we can use them to do. Uh-huh. So my name is Abubakar Sani Ali, and I will be the one who will guide you through the workshop tonight. So welcome once again. This station is hosted by Apatura Services, a company registered in UAE that offers consulting services, training and workshops, as well as research and development in AI, cybersecurity, and IoT. So, for those of you who are attending this for the first time, and for those who have not been able to go through the previous sessions, you can use our app. This is how you get the workshop resources. We are going to demonstrate that now. You can scan this barcode, or you can go to your browser and type asatacademy.ai. Okay, I will send it in the chat. You can use it, and you can access the link via the chat. Okay, so go there, and you can be able to sign up for free, and you should be able to have access to the resources, and I will demonstrate how you can do that now. All right. So can use any of your browsers. Okay, and start for asatacademy.ai. Okay, if you are just starting, you can start for free. You can just sign up. Okay, as a learner, input your name, email address, and password. In my case, I'm already signed in, so I will sign in using my email account. Okay, so these are some of our courses, and here you can go to events and recordings. Okay, events and recordings. So in events and recordings, you will see Python Programming Masterclass March 2024. So this is the one we are currently in. So open this one, go to event sessions, and you will see the two sessions that we had previously. Getting started with Python, Python data structures. We can open any of them, and you can see the recording here. You can watch the video, and you can also download the resources from here. You see download resources, and click it, and it will download resources for you. If you extract these resources, you will see you have two files. You have the lecture note and you have the IPYNB file. Okay, this is the code, and you will see how we are going to use the code. Okay, we are going to use Colab. If you have Jupyter, you can run this code in Jupyter notebooks or any other Python development notebook. But in my case, I am using Colab, and you will see how to use Colab also in the session for those who are attending for the first time. And for those who have attended and watched our previous sessions, you are fully familiar with Colab. All right, so let's go back to the slides. So what have we learned previously? Okay, so yeah, you can also access the workshop video recording on YouTube. So this is our YouTube channel, Asat Academy. And just search for it on YouTube, and you should be able to also watch the videos from there. So let's quickly recap what we've learned in previous sessions. In session one, we work with variables. Okay, we know how to create variables, and we also talk about using descriptive variable names to resolve name errors and syntax errors. We have looked at strings. Okay, these are alphanumeric text that you provide and you might use, for example, name, our names, name of people, places, and stuff like that. These are strings. We know how to take a string and convert it to lowercase, uppercase, or title case, and other things. We have also looked at integers and floats. Integers are whole numbers, floats are decimal point numbers, numbers with decimal points. We see how we can use them. We look at how to write explanatory comments. We said comments are good in order to make our code easier for us and other people to read and understand. In the second session, we've looked at what are lists, and how to work with individual items in a list. We also look at how to define a list and how to add or remove elements from a list. Not only that, we look at how to sort a list permanently and how to sort it temporarily within the sort and sorted. We also look at how to find the length of a list, how many items are inside a list using the len function, len function. We look at tuples. Tuples are another data type, okay, data structure type you find in Python. And lastly, we look at the more advanced, okay, most powerful data structure in Python. The most powerful data collection you have called dictionary, where you have key and value pairs. So these are some of the functions that you can use for list. Okay. So today we are going to look at control statements. Two of them specifically, the for loop and the if else statement. When we say control statement, these are statements that we use to control the flow of the program, By default, what you've seen so far is you write a code and the computer executes the code from top to bottom. Okay? So you'll write your scripts and it goes like top to bottom approach. But what if you want to have a way to go back to a previous line or to branch to some other lines and do some operations? And this is what you're going to look at within the for loop and the statements. So let's start with the for loop and let's take a look at a simple list here called magicians. So as you can see, magicians is a list containing 3 magicians, Alice, David, and Carolina. Okay, Carolina. So you can use the for statement in this way. You say for, okay, for magician, in magicians. For and in, these are keywords. Okay, these are keywords. So you cannot use them for anything apart from this functionality in Python. Otherwise, you will have an error. So we are saying we have our list called magicians, and we're going to take each element of this list. Okay, for magician, in magicians. What are we going to do? We are going to just print magician. So when we run this code, we are going to see the computer printing Alice, David, and Carolina. Remember, in our previous session, what did we say? We said if we have magicians, like we had there, and I want to get the first magician, I will have to put something like this. If I want to print Alice, for example, I will have to do something like this. So magician 0, where 0 is the index, and this is going to print Alice for me. Okay. If I want to do for David, I will have to write it again. Print magicians, that is at index 1, and this is going to print David for me. Okay. So as you can see, what happens if we have 100 magicians? So we're going to be doing all these print statements, 100 times. Isn't that repetitive? And that's exactly what the for loop is trying to help us avoid. We want to avoid repeating ourselves multiple times. So what do? We just say for magician, magicians, print magician. And this will print it out for us, all the three. Maybe if there are 100 of them, with just these two lines of code, we are clear. We can print all the 100 lines. All the 100 magicians, we can print them out. Okay, so we can do more things in the for loop. Okay, but I want you to notice something. When we create the for loop, we have some syntax that you should take note of. First of all, the colon at the end of the statement, and then the indentation. Everything here is indented in with one tab. Okay, we indent them in, saying that these two lines belong to this for loop. So whatever comes after this for statement and is indented is gonna be looked over and over again as long as this condition that is set here is true. So if this condition is true, that is, we have not exhausted all magicians in the magicians list, then these two lines are going to keep printing out. So we're going to keep being executed. Okay, so see what is we are trying to have here. So for each magician here, we want to, first of all, convert it to a title case. That's the first thing, so that every first letter of the name becomes caps. And we would like to give them a comment. Okay, and this is what happens. For example, we say, Alice, that was a great trick. I can't wait to see your next trick, Alice. David, that was a great trick. I can't wait to see your next trick, David, and so on. So if you have 100 magicians and you want to also send each and every one of them the same message, you can use the same syntax. Okay. So what if we want to do some things after the loop? Here we said if you make indentation, you are everything that comes under the loop, as long as it is indented, it is assumed to be inside the loop and it is going to keep on executing multiple times. But if I want to continue and write something, all I have to do is to remove that indentation level and come to the same level with the for loop. You can see this and this one are at the same level. Okay, these two are at the same level. So for that reason, only this are going to be repeated multiple times. This last one is going to be executed after all this looping has been completed, after we have exhausted all magicians. So look at this. When we say for magician, in magicians like what we had in the previous slide, we greet all of them, we give them notes, and now we want to conclude and say thank you everyone. That was a great magic show. So you can see this one is repeated only once, and it was repeated after these three. Okay, after these ones that are inside the loop are finished. So you don't expect to see this like after every one of them. Don't do expect that to happen. It will not happen because this one is executed outside the loop. Alright, so we have an activity here which we would like to try out to see if we understood the concept. Let me know if you have any question before I move to the activity. Okay, so we are going to move to the collab, and here you need your computer if you want to follow along. Okay, and not only that, you need a browser. I recommend Google Chrome because Google Colab is also from Google, so I'm sure they have optimized it best to work on Google Chrome. So use Google Chrome, please. And all you have to do is just type collab.research.google.com, or just put Google Colab in the Google search, and it will bring you to the Google Colab, and you can start working on it. You can check our first session if you are not familiar on how to use it or how to create a new notebook. So this is our session 3, and you can share. I will share this with you. So send me your emails. I will also provide this as a downloadable file, which you can download later from the app, from our app. So let's look at this. The activity is saying think of three different kinds of favorite pizza. Okay, and store these pizza names in a list, and then use a for loop to print the name of each pizza. Okay, so let's see pizzas. Okay, list comes with square brackets. So the first pizza, let's go with pepperoni. Okay, we'll go with veggie. Okay, we'll go with chicken. Okay, chicken pizza. So we have three pizzas. So we want to do a loop to print the name of each one. So what did we say? We say we will use for pizza and pizzas. Remember the column. Once you press enter, Colab will take care of the indentation for you. So you don't have to worry about the indentation. It will take care of it because it knows a full statement is going to require indentation for everything that needs to be looked. So we want to print this pizza, not pizza, the pizza. If you print pizzas, it will print everything here. But this pizza will print just one element. Mind you, we are using pizza and pizzas just as a convention. It's not a must. Okay? You can have for I or for item pizzas if you want. And you can print item. Okay? So the name of the list is there, pizzas. So it's a good practice to name lists or collections with plurals, and then one single or scalar value with without using the plural in a singular term. Okay, so we can print item. We can even use some silly thing like I. So it doesn't matter, you know. So I'm using pizza also just as a good practice. You know, the singular of the list element, which is pizza. So I can do this. I can run the code by clicking the play. So the next question is asking us to modify the loop to print a sentence using the name of the pizza instead of printing just the name of the pizza. We just don't want to see oh sorry, I said print pizzas instead of pizza. Okay, we don't want it. That's enough. We are printing the pizza one at a time. Pepperoni, veggie, chicken. So for each pizza, you should have one line output containing a simple statement like I like pepperoni pizza. Okay, so let's do that. So in the print statement, we're going to use the F string that we used to do before, like this. I like. Now we will put pizza because the variable, and we will put something like this. Okay. If I run this, you will see things will change. I like pepperoni pizza. I like veggie pizza. I like chicken pizza. So let me copy this. Okay, and let's undo to go back to the previous code. So this loop will finish first, then this one will go and do first. Okay, why? Because they're all in the same level. If I put this one indented in like this, then the computer will assume it wants me. I want to finish this, then I will be doing this one at a time. So this we call it a nested loop. Okay. All right. So this is the for the second one. So the third one is add a line at the end of your program outside for loop and state that how much you like pizza. The output should consist of three or more lines about the kinds of pizza you like, and then some additional sentence such as I really love pizza. Okay. So let's go outside. This should come outside. I will say print I love I love sushi. Okay, I want to put this and I would like to print, but I will still prefer to eat pizza tonight. Something like that. And we can add another line, just love pizza. So let's look at the output here. So the first one, we are just printing the pizza. The second one, we added some sentences, and then we have these additional ones. So just to make sure we are separating this, we can print the empty space like this. Okay. So you can see this is my code, right? So we can even do with nothing. It will still give you this separated with one space. Okay. So this is good to go. So I will allow you to try the same thing with the 1.2. So I will put trying this out. Okay. So I'll say try it out. And once you finish trying it out, you can run it. If you get any errors and something you can't figure out, you can just go to the comment and look for me. Okay. For example, I can look for you here and then I will send you my comment. Okay. Send me the comment. Tell me I'm having difficulty with this and I will get right on it the moment I get time. All right. Before, of course, the next session, I will be able to address your comments. However, there is a better approach, which I will show you now. For you to get feedback if you are struggling with your code, okay, I will show it to you immediately. And this is to use our app. You remember the app? Yes, that you can go to download resources. So you can actually use it as well to figure out and get real-time feedback. All right, and I will show you how to do that immediately. So if you sign into the app, you will see learning tools. Okay, go to learning tools. You will see assignment checker. Go to this one and you can pick our Python programming fundamentals course. Then you pick code. You want to use code because it's a coding activity. So let's go and copy this. Okay, this is the question. So we can put the question here. Okay, this is our question. All right. So for the solution, what you can do is you can use the snipping tool. I don't know if you have the snipping tool, but if you are using Windows, you have the snipping tool. If you are using MacBook, okay, you can look for any uh, screenshot software. Okay, so we want to take a screenshot of our code, which is this one. Okay, and let's save it as attempt or save. We will save it as attempt. Okay, let's call it attempt pizza. Okay, so let's save it. So now in our here we will upload this our attempt. Okay, here it is. We'll upload it, it will upload, and we can ask for feedback. So we are having some issues. Okay, so if you click this get feedback, you should be able to get the feedback written down here for you. So sorry, we are having issues with our API key. So we are going to work on that. And don't worry, before you start working on this, you will solve this issue. All right, so this is how you can use the app to be able to get feedback. All right, so now let's go back to our slides. Okay, so the next thing we would like to look at is what is called numerical list. We have known that computers are very good with numbers. They are very good with numbers, and most of the times we like to store a set of numbers, huge set of numbers. For example, if you are going to do things that have to do with, let's say, data visualizations, you will always work with sets of numbers. For example, temperatures, distances, population sizes, and so on. And lists are ideal for storing such sets of numbers. Okay, so we have a Python function called range. Range function allows us to easily generate a series of numbers. And how does the range work? It takes in three values: two minimum, three maximum, where the first value is what we call the starting number. So this is the start. So we are going to start counting from one. That's what we are saying. And then we are going to stop at five. But five is what? Excluded. Five excluded. Okay. So meaning we are going to have one, two, three, and four without five. And when we print value, you can see we have one, two, three, four, no five. If you add the third number to range, it will assume this to be the start. Okay. The second one will be the stop, and the third one is going to be the step. So here we want to generate numbers from 2 to 11 with a steps of 2. So we're going to have 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Okay. So this is going to be the output for us. So this is the range. This is how it works. Okay. So not only range, we have other functions. For example, we have the mean, max, and the max, and the sum. Mean will return the minimum number in a list. Max will return the maximum number in that list, and sum is gonna add up all the numbers in the list and return the summation. Okay, we have a concept called list comprehension. So this is a little bit advanced uh, concept, but very powerful. So we would like to see how we can simplify our for loop using what we call list comprehension, because we are always going to be creating sets of lists from maybe another list. Let's say we have a list of numbers, very simple numbers, 1 to 10. Okay, we have a list of numbers 1 to 10, and we want to create another list of numbers, which is the squares of the numbers 1 to 10. 1 square, 2 square, or up to what? 10 square. So instead of saying, okay, let me have mm, two separate lists, we can say, why don't we create this one from this one? Because this one is dependent on this one. Okay, so this is exactly what we do here. You say for value in range 1 to 11 square. Okay, we have an empty list here called squares. So square is equal to value squared. Okay, this is how you do exponent in Python. It's a double asterisk. So value squared. So 1 squared is gonna be 1. 2 squared is gonna be 4. 3 squared is gonna be 9. So all of them are gonna, then we will be appending to squares. Okay, to the list called squares. So the first iteration, we will do 1 squared and we will add it to this empty list. So now squares is going to have only one. Then the second iteration will have 2 squared, which we will add to the empty list also. So there will be 1 comma, 4. The next one will be 9. Then we have 16, 25, and so on. All right. So you can see it's printed out here for you up to 10 squared. Okay. So what we are saying is using list comprehension, all these 3 lines you see here, we can summarize them into one single line. Okay. So squares there, which is an empty list, we can just put this expression value squared. The for loop comes, okay, squared. So what we are saying is squares is going to be populated with value squared. Okay. So where do we get the value? This value element is now going to be generated from the for value in range 1 to 11. For value in range 1 to 11. So this value is going to be getting its number from there. And with this simple line of code, you have simplified all these 4 lines into just one line. And you can put in the squares and you will see the result will be the same. All right. So this is list comprehension in a nutshell. So we're going to do some activity. If you have no questions, we are going to move to collab. If you have questions, send it in the chat. Okay. So activity 2.1. We want to use a for loop to print the numbers 1 to 20 instead of say print 1, print 2. You see, this is going to be a lot of work. So what can I do? I can just say for number in range 1 to 20. So if 20 is inclusive, therefore I should put 21. Okay. That's it. Print number. Oops. Okay. So this one, not yet Python 2. So we have to put the parentheses. So you can see we have printed all the numbers 1 to 20. Okay. So we want to make a list of numbers. Okay. From 1 to 1 million. And then use a for loop to print the numbers. If the output is going to take long, then stop it by pressing Control C. Okay. So we can call this list 1 to 1 million. The list. And one thing you can do is you can see list and you put range. This will create that for you. That's the range from 1 to 1 million. This is 10,000. So okay, I can do this thing, something like this. So 1,000,001. And I can print this list 1 to 1 million. Okay. Okay. So this is us printing 1 to 1 million. You can see this will stop sending, it's out of limit. We have gone so much, I'm gonna crash this. So let's do a simple way. We can just use the for loop for number, the range 1 comma 1 million 1 like this. Print number. So this will start printing them, but it will be, we will print and we can use Control C. How you can see it's printing 10,000. Okay, let's do Control C to terminate. Let's stop this. Okay. Yes. We're terminating this one. Okay, because where did it stop? 55,000. Okay, so it's gonna go on and on and on. But I've terminated it. Let's see how long will it take you to write this. I'm sure forever, but for computers with the loop, you can easily see just able to do all this. We have odd numbers, so I will allow you to try this out. So say try it out. Okay, we have threes also, try it out. Okay, so let's do this together. A number raised to the power, okay, the third power is called a cube. For example, the cube of 2 is written to power 3. Make a list of the first 10 cubes. Okay, 1 to 10. And this for loop, print out each of the values. Okay, so we can do the same for value, a range 1 to 11 there, because maybe 10 is inclusive. So, okay, we can see cube is equals to value cube like this. As a print cube. Aha, you see 1, 2 cube is 8, which is 2 times 2 times 2, 3 times 3 times 3, 27, 4 times 4 times 4, and so on. Okay, we have list comprehension. Okay, I'm gonna use a list to simplify this. So let's maybe put everything we get in cubes. Okay, so we can print cube, and let's append this. Oops, but append cube. Okay, so we also like to print cubes. The list. So let's see how this works. Okay, so this is each individual one, and this is the whole list which we have been appending. It was empty before, but then it is gonna be populated with the cube here. Okay, so let's see if we can now use list comprehension to summarize this into just 1 or 2 lines of code. So we can just say cubes equals to, okay, we can put the cube, after we just do value, cube like this for value in range 1 to 11. Okay, so you can say print cubes. You can see cubes for you. So we have summarized all of this within the list comprehension to have something like this. All right, so let's move on to the next part. Okay, so let's move to the next activity, to the next part. Okay, we have seen how we can look over a list. What of dictionaries? Okay, the way you look over a list is the same way you look over a dictionary, over a tuple, and also similar in a sense to the way you look over a dictionary. So list and tuples the same, but the dictionary almost the same, but with some few changes, which you are gonna see here. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Assume we have a dictionary called counts. Counts have information of people with maybe the count of some value they are holding. So let's say Chuck is holding the number 1. Okay, Fred is holding number 2, 42, and John is holding 100. So if you want to print, let's say the key, which is Chuck, Fred, and John's. Okay, what you need to do is to say for key in counts dot keys. For key in count dot keys, so you can be able to print the key. So when you put count dot keys, okay, without anything, if you say for any element, okay, you can say for I, for example, for I in counts, if you forget to put anything else, by default, this is gonna just write right over the keys. In this case, we have Chuck, Fred, and John. So if you forget to indicate, so this is gonna do, You can print the key. You can print counts the key, and you can see key is Jan. The count for Jan is 100. Okay. So sometimes we specify. For example, let's say we have favorite languages. We have some programming languages here: Python, C, Ruby, Python. And we have our friends Jane, Sarah, Edward, and Phil. Each one has a specific favorite Python language, programming language. Okay, so if I want to know what are the favorite programming languages of Phil and Sarah, how can I do this? So what I can do is I can say for name because the keys are the names. Okay, so for name in favorite languages, which is the name of the dictionary. Dot keys. This is important. If you forget the dot keys, it's just going to be assumed by default also the keys. So dot keys, print name. Okay, this will print name Jane, Sarah, Edward. But the dot title now will make the names in title case. So when you run this line of code, okay, if you run this alone, only this part, if you run only this part, what you will see is just going to be everything. It's going to be everything. Okay, for name and favorite languages, name dot title, you will see Jane, Sarah, Edward, and P. But we want to do some filtering. We only want the names that are inside these frames. Only these two guys. We don't want of Jane and we don't want of Edward. Only Phil and Sarah. So we said if name is in that list, if name is in the list, that's the one that we want to do some printing. Okay, here it's gonna print everything. Okay, but here I'm gonna add some additional message for them. Okay, so in the first instance, it takes Jane, prints it out. It will check is Jane part of this list? No, so nothing happens. Then it will go to the next one, which is Sarah. It will check is Sarah part? Yes, Sarah is part of this print, so it added some additional customized message for Sarah. It will move to the next one, which is Phil. Okay, Edward, sorry. It goes to Edward, checks the list. Okay, it will print hi Edward, which is what we are seeing here, Edward. And it will check to see is Edward part of this. No, Edward is not, therefore no custom message for Edward. But then we have the last one, which is Phil. We will print Phil, hi Phil. We will check to see is Phil part of the list. Yes, so we are going to give him a custom message, which is Phil, I see you love Python. Okay, so this is how you look via the key. You can also look via both the key and the value. Okay, not just the key. You can also use both key and value. And this is you just say for key, comma value, in user dot items now, not dot keys. Before it was dot keys, so we are iterating over the keys, but now dot items will return two things for you, the key and the value. Okay, it will return two things for you. And you can print the key. In this case, you will see username and you will see the value is what FRV. Okay, and this is what you will be seeing. You have first name, which is Enrico. You will see it, Enrico, which is the key is first, and value is Enrico. Then you will go to the next one. Last is the key, Farmi is the value. You see there like this. Okay, so this is dot items. So we have seen dot keys, we've seen dot items. So the next one is also dot values. Okay, you will have also dot values. You can see dot values. Here you are only interested in the values, not the keys. Okay, you can do that as well. So as you can see here, you can see we are only printing the values Python, C, Ruby, and Python again. Okay, remember you can sort. Well, now let's assume we want to do sorting. Remember, initially what did we say? It prints, if we are just looking through, it is going to give you everything without care of any order. Okay, but sometimes we want to print things in alphabetical order in a sorted form. And what you can do is to just say for name in sorted. Remember that sorted we discussed previously, because this several languages, the keys is going to return a list, and Sorted can be used on a list to return a sorted list, temporary, of course. So what did we do here? We say for name in sorted favorite languages dot keys, print the name dot title, and we want to write additional information. Thank you for taking the form. So you can see E comes before what? Before J, then you have E before S. Okay, so Edward, Jane, Phil, Sarah. Okay, so this is how you do it with regards to that. You look at the, so let's do some activity also. See how we can practice what you just learned here. If you have no questions, let's switch to Fallout. Okay, so we have an activity here. Make a dictionary containing three major rivers and the country each river runs through. Okay, one key value there might be Nile, Egypt. This is an example. And then use a loop to print a sentence about each river, such as the Nile runs through Egypt. Use a loop to print the name of each river included in the dictionary, only the names. Use a loop to print the name of each country included in the dictionary, only the name of the country. Okay, so let's write a dictionary. Let's call it rivers. Okay, using braces, right? Starting with the first one, we have Nile. The country is Egypt. Okay, we have Mississippi, United States. Okay, we have River Niger. Okay, this one is in Nigeria. Okay, so these are our rivers and their corresponding countries. So for the first one, we want to print both the river and the country. So we will say for river, comma, country. I can do this. You can say for key and value. Fine, yeah, it's up to you. You can say for key, comma, value. It's up to you. For me, I will just say for river, comma, country. Okay. In rivers dot items, you have to use the dot items. Okay. So okay, I'm used to shift enter. So print, we want to print something like, so I will use the F string. Okay, we want something like the Nile runs through Egypt. Okay, so we have the river runs through Egypt. Okay, let's run this. So you can see the Nile runs through Egypt, the Mississippi runs through United States, the Niger runs through Nigeria. Okay, in fact, let's do something. Okay, let's do the title so that we make each one be well. Okay, you can see now we are using the title keys. Now it's look nicer. All right, so this is for this one. The next one is saying to use the for loop. Okay, only the names of rivers. Okay, so if that is the case, you can just say river the keys because the names of the rivers are the keys. All right, you can print river. Okay. Okay. So I can run this. Oh, I forget the int. Okay. Yeah, so you can see it's here. Okay. Print up here so that we separate the two. Okay. So you can say title to make it more appropriate. Okay. And we said if you forget to put the dot keys, by default, if you just say for river and rivers, it's going to assume the keys. Okay, we're gonna assume the keys. So it's better to just always use the reverse.keys or the dictionary.keys. Way much better. Okay, so let's do for country in the US. But here you cannot, you have to always use the values. Dot values. Okay, read, read. And let's do the title. Here you can see the country. All right. Okay, so this one I will leave you do it yourself. Give it a try. Try it out. Okay, so I'm going to move to the next part of the presentation if there are no questions. Okay, so the next thing is called nesting. Nesting is when you have something inside another thing. Okay, for example, you may you might have multiple dictionaries in a list, or you can have list of items as a value of dictionary. Okay, for example, we can say a country, for example, is the key, and then the list of rivers in that country will be the values. In Nigeria, we have two rivers, like we have River Niger, River Benue. Okay, in the US, they have also rivers. And put it that here in the UAE, there are no rivers, uh, that major rivers, because we here in the UAE we have the sea surrounding the whole UAE. So we have this thing maybe you want to do. We also have dictionaries that could contain other dictionaries. So dictionary in a dictionary, that is also possible. Or a list dictionaries, as we said, or a list of lists, or a list of dictionaries that contain dictionaries. So all this can happen depending on what you are trying to do. Okay. So we will see some examples. Let's say we have a list called aliens. All right. This is a empty list. And we want to make 30 green aliens. So we can just say for alien number a range 30. We are going to create new alien. So every alien that we are going to have is going to be a dictionary containing the color and the key of that alien, the point we're going to get if we maybe kill that alien, and then the speed of that particular alien. And we are going to add this to the dictionary. So you can see here, these aliens, maybe you are building a game, okay? You want to populate it with aliens. You want to have 30 aliens of green nature, 0.5 when they are killed, and their own characteristics is that they are slow. So we will be adding each of these, in our list of aliens. So we have a list of aliens, and we have alien, all of them with some characteristics. So you can see this one is what? A list of dictionaries. A list of dictionaries. And that's exactly what you can print out here to see. Okay. We can have a list in a dictionary. Now it's a dictionary where it has lists. For example, we have our favorite languages dictionary where we have our friends and each one has a favorite programming language. But now somebody can have more than one favorite programming language. For example, Jane has Python and Ruby as her favorite programming languages, although Sarah has only one, which is C. But Edward, as well as Phil, both of them together with Jane have two favorite programming languages. So you can see this is a list inside a dictionary. Okay? So we can be able to do so many things. For example, what you can do is to say for name, which is this, languages, because these are a list. These values are what list. So languages in the favorite programming languages dot items. Okay? So items is going to return two things, both the key and the value pair. So we can print something about the name. Okay, we can see Jane's favorite languages are, then we will list our favorite languages. For Sarah, it's just one, so it's the only one, and so on. Okay, So we also have dictionary and dictionary. This is the last one, you know. A dictionary inside a dictionary. For example, this is what you normally see when you have databases. Okay, we have a dictionary called users, and each user has some characteristics that is held onto their user ID. Okay, so we have two users, for example, inside this dictionary of users. The first user is associated with his ID called A instant, and these are the columns. Other columns you have first, that's a location. You have Mercury, Mercury, Paris. Okay, so this is a dictionary of what? Dictionaries. Okay, and you can see here we can work with it also. We can use the username, which is the A instance. That's why we say because we are doing the dot items, and dot items will return two things: the key and the value. The key here is the username, okay, username, and the value is a dictionary, okay, which is the user info dictionary, okay. So we can print the username, for example, Albert Einstein, and we have the dictionary called user info. So here, the user info, we can be able to use some of the keys of that user info dictionary to get additional items like this. For example, we got a formatted full name and the location. To get the formatted full name, we have the first and the last put together, separated by spaces. Put them that. You can also use the dot title to make it into title case, which is what you saw here. You can print the location afterwards. All right, so if this is here, we can look at the activity with this one as well. So I'm going to switch to collab. Okay, so let's see this one. Okay, make several dictionaries. For 4.1, I will say try it out yourself. Okay, try it out. Here we'll do 4.2, more complex. Okay, so where I make several dictionaries, where each dictionary represents a different page. So okay, let's call this page. All right, it's a dictionary. Okay, so we are gonna have different pages in the dictionary, include the kind of animal and the owner's name. Store these dictionaries in a list. Okay, a list called pets. A list called pets. Then next look through your list, and as you do print everything, you know about each pet. Okay, so we can say pet one. Okay, the dictionary. Okay, so what we can do is to say we will have, let's say, three pets. Let's go with three pets. We will have cat, dog, and parrot. Okay, these are the three pets we want to see. All right. So what we can do here, okay, let's define them. Maybe pet one, dictionary. Let's go. So we have, okay, what did this say? Each the kind of animal. Okay, let's say type. Okay, this is the first one, type, and we have dog. Okay, what else? Owner's name. Okay, owner. You will say James. Okay, so this is pet one. We'll have pet two. Okay, this is a cat. Okay, owner. Okay, this we can say body. And then we have pet three, for example. The type. Type is what? Okay, parrot. And the owner. Okay. So pets is a list of what? Pet one, comma page 2, comma page 3. All right. So we want to look through this. Okay. All right. For text in text. Okay. This is what we do. Can say print. Let's say pet type as a variable. Okay. The text and we put the type. Okay. And pet owner, the pet, and we put owner the key. Yeah, the tag. Okay. So you can write something like this: print f. Let's write pet owner. Okay. That will do the title. Let's see has a pet type. Okay. So this is something we want to do. Well, let's say James has a dog. Mary has a cat. Abubakar has a parrot. This is what you want to print. Okay. This is what you can see here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we want to print the forget the title comes with is a method. So I forgot this. So you can see James has a dog, Mary has a cat, Abubakar has a parrot. Okay. So let's allow you to try this one out yourself. Try it out. Okay. Let's go with 4.4. I will do 4.5. Okay, let me do 4.4. Okay, make a dictionary called cities. Cities. The dictionary. Use the names of three cities as a key. Okay, let's go with Dubai. What's the value? Then, and create a dictionary of information about each city. Okay, so the value is a dictionary. Okay, which include the country. Okay, country. We will say UAE. So this one is the first one. Comma, population. Population for UAE is gonna be for Dubai like 4 million. Okay. What else? And one fact about the city. Okay. One fact. Let me just say fact. Stay futuristic. All right. So this is for Dubai. So now let's go to another city. Okay. So who should we go for? Let's go for New York. Okay. New York City. Okay. Country. United States. USA. All right. Population. Let's say 10 million. Okay. But Okay, it's the city that doesn't see, right? Okay, this is the part about New York. All right, let's add another city. Let's go with Lagos, Nigeria. So I'm gonna have like this. Three. Yeah, I forgot the comma. Nigeria, right? Population 20 million. We'll go with the fact that Lagos is commerce hub of our country. Okay, so we have three cities. So this is a dictionary of dictionaries. All right. So what do we want to do? We want to print the name of each city and all the information we have found about it. We will say for city and city info in cities dot items. Okay, print. Let's use the city is the title. Okay, we have this and let's print the remaining things. C dot print city info. Okay, right. So let's see. So the city is Dubai, country UAE, population this, fact is this, USA, and so on. All right. So this is what you can do with a dictionary of dictionaries. So we will move on to the last part of the we will move on to the last part of the presentation. Okay, so okay, now we will move to the next uh, the next part, which is if statements. We've seen how the for loop works with the list, with the loops, with the dictionaries, and today we're going to look at the if statement. How does the if statement works? So in if statement, we have what we call conditional steps. For example, let's say x equals to 5, okay? And we would like to have a condition that if x is less than 10, we would like to do some activity. And here, what we want to do is to say if x is less than 10, we want to print smaller. Okay, that's what we want to do. If that is not the case, we would like to check to see is x greater than 20. Because if x is greater than 20, we would like to print bigger. Otherwise, we will just say finite, okay, and end the code. So how do we do this? So this is where you use if statement in Python. So this is how it works in program. You will say x equals to 5. Okay. If you can see if x is less than or equal to less than 10, this is the equal like less than sign. Print smaller. So it's gonna print smaller in the output. If now because x is less than 10, of course, so it's gonna be smaller. Then we can see another check here again. Okay, on the way. If x is greater than 20, print bigger. So is x greater than 20? Nope. X is less than 20. So we can't see bigger printed out in the output. And we will have print finish at the end. Okay, or finish. Okay, print finish. Okay, so you will see it printed here in the output. So there are so many comparison operators you can use, and this include less than or equals to. So don't use the single equal sign because that is for assignment when you're assigning a value to a variable like x equals to 5. But if you want to equate two things, compare two things, you use the two equality signs: greater than or equals to, greater than, not equal, and statement checks if both parts are true. Okay. For example, you can say I'm alive and I am breathing. You know, so I am alive and I am breathing. Both of these two parts are true. That's when you are really alive. Okay. Or statement, so or is if one is true, we are happy, no problem. For example, just like you use the or in English, okay, I'm going to buy a book if it is available, or I will get a pen, you know. So if I buy a book or I get a pen, I can do both, I can do one, no problem. Okay, so look at some of the operators in action. Now we say x equals to 5, we assign value 5 to x. We want to check if x is equals to 5. If this is correct, if this is true, we're going to print equals 5. We want to see is x greater than, so this is greater than, you can see greater than or equals to, okay, less than 6, true, less than or equals to 5, also true, not equals to 6 is also true. So all these are true for this case. So this we called it if statement. Okay, it's kind of a one-way decision. You have only one chance, one option. As you can see here, x equals to 5. You want to see yes or no, one way. Okay, but there could be also a way where you want to make some decision. For example, we want to have x equals to 42 and we want to check if x is greater than 1 but less than 100. X is greater than 1 but less than 100. How do you do that? You can use the nested decision. You can first of all check the first condition to make sure it is greater than 1. So if it is greater than 1, it is going to print more than 1. Then we want to check to see is it less than 100. If it is, then we can say less than 100. And then outside we say print all done. Okay, so this is a nested decision. We also have two-way decision. Okay, this if this is not the case, then the no part, what will happen? For example, we say x equals to 4. We want to check a condition. Is x greater than 2? Yes. If yes, we want to print bigger. If no, we want to print smaller. So what you saw earlier, just the one way, is just only this part for the yes. For the no, nothing happens. Okay, but now we also want to handle the no part if the condition returns false. Okay, so every other thing, okay, this you can call it otherwise. So if x is greater than 2, print bigger, otherwise print smaller. Okay, so this is what we are you doing with the if else statement. Another one is called the multi-way, not just if else statement. Let's say there are several conditions. For example, we want to check if x is less than 2, we will print small. Else, if x is between 2 and 10, we want to print medium. And anything outside these two ranges is just large. Okay, otherwise large. So this is a multi-way. So here we use the if combined with elif and then the else. Okay, if elif else is the last one, otherwise. Okay, so you can see if has x less than 2, the condition is defined. Same thing with the elif, also condition is defined. But for else, we don't need to define a condition because this will handle every other conditions as long as these two are false. Okay, so uh, we call this multi-way. All right, so let's look at these activities and have four activities here. Let's take a look at them. So I'm gonna switch to Google Colab. Okay, so the first activity Imagine an alien was just shot down in a game. Okay, calculate a variable called alien color, create a variable called alien color and assign it a value of green, yellow, or red. So it can be green, yellow, or red, any one of your choice. Write an if statement to test whether the alien's color is green. If it is green, then we want to print a message that the player just earned 5 points for shooting down a green alien. Okay, so let's create the variable alien color. Okay, and let's I like yellow. Let's put yellow. All right. So we want to check if alien color equals what green. Okay, print you have and 5 points. Okay, so let's see. So what will happen here if I run this? You can see nothing happened. If I change to green and I run this, now this is going to print you have earned 5 points. Okay, so write one version of this program that passes the test and one that fails, which we just saw. Now we have continuation of this. We want to do if else statement. So if it is green, we want to earn 5 points. If it is not green, no, otherwise we will just earn 10 points. Okay, so let's copy this. So we will put the else here. Okay, else print you have earned 10 points. Okay, so for green, you have earned 5 points. For yellow, you have earned 10 points. For red, you have earned 10 points. Okay, so let's see. Turn this into a chain, okay, of if, else, if. Okay, and if. So if it's green, 5 points. If it is yellow, 10 points. If it is red, 15 points. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so let's make this the elif. Okay, and color is what? Yellow. So it's 10 points. Else as a print and 15 points. Okay, so let's try this. So you can see we put red, now we have earned 15 points. We put yellow, we have earned what? 10 points. We put green, we have earned 5 points. Okay, but I wouldn't want to have this in this way. Okay, I will actually prefer the otherwise to be 0. So if you maybe kill a gray alien, so that's 0. Maybe it's not an alien, killing something else. So let's put red, the one that is this. And let's handle the else different invalid key. So for green, 5 points. For yellow, 10 points. Red, 15 points. Gray, invalid key. All right. So yeah, so I will allow you to do this yourself. Write out. Okay. So this is the if else statement and how you can use it in your code. Okay. So now we have come to the end of this class. So let's summarize what we've learned so far. Okay. So in this session, we've learned how to work with the list and how to use a for loop to go through, to work through a list. You also learn how the indentation works in Python and how the Python uses it to structure our program and how you should avoid these common indentation errors if you don't want to have issues. We will learn how to make simple numerical lists using the range function. We've seen some few operations which we can perform. For example, max, min, sum. We've seen those. We also learn advanced Python programming skill like the list comprehension, which we saw how you compress 3 or 4 lines of code or more to a single line of code. You learn how to look through all the information in a dictionary, and we also see how you can move through either the key value pairs or just the key or only the values. We've seen how we can nest multiple items in a list, and so on. And we've seen how we can use the if else statement. So this is what we've learned today in general. So if you still need additional assistance in terms of guidance, project development, or research study, or you want to get some training, you can book a one-on-one call with me for free, and I can help you or assist you with providing you with a direction that is suitable for you. So thank you for being here and for taking the time. Hope to see you in the next session. All right. Bye. Bye. See you.